Welcome on in. My name is Darlene, here to do a little week ahead check-in reading for you. And we'll see, what else comes up during the live. Let me go over here and pull myself up so I can see the chat better on my device. There we go. All righty. And I may or may not do some readings tonight, y'all. I am kind of pooped, but I'm going to put it in here and we'll just see how that goes. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Now, what does the week ahead look like for my peeps, for my collective out there? I did a live on Friday night and we did the love check-in. So I think tonight we'll just do a general, what you need to know that might be coming towards you this week. Check in. So here we go. I'm going to use this smaller deck tonight, just easier to handle. When you get old, you have gnarly arthritis hands, and these decks are just easier to shuffle. That's the truth of it. So there we go. All right. I have been busy packing, getting ready for my trip tomorrow morning. I leave early to go to Minnesota to visit my best friend. Hey, Derek. Happy Sunday. So I've been doing all the things, watering the plants and all, doing laundry and all the things to get ready for this trip. Ooh, and booking hotels and Airbnbs and all the things. So anyway, I've been busy, but hopefully I am organized now and I can get up and get on the road early tomorrow. That's my plan. All right, Spirit, does this deck not want to talk? What's coming toward my collective this week? What do they need to know? Thank you, Deborah. I so appreciate that. I won't lie. I'm a bit nervous. I haven't done a drive this long in a long time. And, well, I mean, just each day, it's like driving 7 hours each day-ish for 2 days. And third day is a little bit later. But I'm a little nervous, but I've decided I'm just going to take it as it comes. It'll be a bit of an adventure. We'll see. Oh, I forgot to turn my little thing on here. So can y'all see that? Where can I put it? There we go. Well, it gets in the way of my cards. Here, turn it in. Yeah, there. I think that's still on camera. You can see it. It's, there we go. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Deborah. I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing my friend. That's the big thing. All right, come on. Why are these cards not wanting to come out tonight? What's coming toward my collective for this week? What do they need to know? Please and thank you. That little deck didn't want to talk. I'm wondering if the big one wants to talk. It's a secret. Hello, Jay. Good evening. All right. Okay, well, I'm going to... No, it's just everybody's wanting to... I forgot to say... Hang on a second. Sorry, I forgot to say my little protection thing before I start. Whoops. Well, oh no, I did a short. I'm calling them, well, the playlist is Tarot Bites, but it's like what's active in the field. So they're field notes, not like nature field notes, but in the quantum field notes. And I've started that series and I'm going to try to do them more regularly, especially when I get back and I get settled in from this trip. Anyway, and I just did one, and this was the card that came out. We don't like that, but all right. If it's there, it's there. That just confirms it. It's a real thing. So let's see what comes out with that, because the Seven of Swords Okay. Is somebody here tonight? Who's here tonight? Oh, do tell. Somebody might be visiting us tonight. Oh, I love that. Yes. But if nothing else, I think it affirms the message on this Seven of Swords. That's the liar, cheater. It's the deception card, especially when it's in the upright. Yeah. We'll see. Let's see what else comes out with it. So my EMF says that's a thing this week. So y'all look out. Do you see? Well, I'm trying to balance because here, let me show you this. I don't want it near anything electronic because that sets it off. So it's, and I know you can't see it. If I pull it, I'm pulling it right over to my iPad and it just goes bloop. It didn't do that, what it was doing a minute ago. And if I put it near my microphone, you can see when it gets real, I mean, it almost has to touch the microphone. That's really the only thing that's near it that would set it off electronically. And there it goes. Okay, well, there, y'all can see it. Bingo so far? Yeesh. Jaya, okay, I will do a one question reading for you, but you'll have to wait till I finish this general one. So I'm going to put you down, and I know I may not be saying your name correctly, and I do apologize for that, but I'm doing the best I can here. So I'm going to call you Jaya, Jaya. And if you can hold on for a little bit, I will do a reading for you. Let me finish this general reading for my collective audience. So what else do we need to know? What? Seven of Swords and what? About what? Hey, Anthony, good evening. So what else do we need to know? What else? Thank you, Adia. I so appreciate you doing that because it can get, overwhelming when people are popping in. Okay, come on. Come on. We don't have all night. These people are busy. Meta, I'm going Mete. I'm shortening your handle here. Meta. I love that question. That it just seems like such a sincere question from a young woman. She's asking, so I'm interrupting this reading for a special broadcast over here to Meta. She's saying, hi, I encountered your live stream randomly. I need your experience. What are the first things a girl notices when meeting a guy? I don't know what she notices, but I can't speak to other people. But if you're asking me what she should notice, that's a different question. She's saying, I want to pay attention to these things. I need to pull myself together. I don't know that it's anything visual. Obviously, you want them to be clean. These are, and like appear that they take care of themselves. You're male, okay. So I would think that's important. That's just a given, right? It's more about how they act, though, Meta. I have to say, for me as a person, this is honest, and I'm coming to you as a person, but as a mother and a grandmother. Observe how they act. Or can you tell how they're acting? Are they, doing nothing but looking at their phone for 30 minutes? Are they scrolling through TikTok for an hour and not even looking up? I'm sorry. I hope I'm not offending anybody because I love social media too. But you can tell a lot by people about how they act in the first 5 minutes. And what I mean is if they don't engage with people around them, that's a clue of one of two things. Well, three things. They could have a device addiction. They could be so shy, they're afraid to, so they just bury themselves in their phones. Or they could just not really want to have anything to do with people. That's not a good sign. So see if they smile, see if they make eye contact. To me, that's a real big clue for people. If you meet someone and they make eye contact with you, that says a lot about a person. I think that's real important. And you will feel, pay attention to how you're feeling, Meta. This is something that's very under talked about and under acknowledged. It's not about that person, it's about how your energy is going to perceive that person. Now, your energy field is a lot smarter than your brain, I promise you. So, what is your initial impression of that person based on how you're feeling? I'm just getting a kick out of this. I think I would like to see more people, especially the younger generation, pay more attention to that, because your intuition is so important. It's such an important piece of, it's such an important resource for you to be able to rely on your intuition when you meet people of any kind, whether they're old, young, or whatever. I don't want to I could go on, but let me just get back to my reading now. But those two things, do they make eye contact, or are they buried in their device? Or, how do you feel? How does that person, and I don't mean giggly, fun. I mean, intuitively take some deep breaths and tune into that person's energy. And how do you feel? Do you get any red flags? Do you get any like prickly, the hair on the back of your neck stands up? That's not good. How do you feel on the inside? Oh, from Turkey. Wow. Well, welcome from Turkey, Matt. I'm glad you were here tonight. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Book of Box. I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I don't know. I guess let me try turning it over, because it's just not wanting to give me anything else. Did I just see a card turn? Yeah. Be careful. Now, this isn't a love reading. This was a general check-in for what the energies this week will bring to my collective. Be careful that somebody, however, this could be friend, this could be a roommate, a workmate, a boss, whoever. Be careful of misinterpreting someone's feelings. I'm going to say it like that. Because they very well, this is the card of deceit, as I said. This Page of Cups is someone who might be giving an apology. He could also come to you with an apology. I wouldn't trust it. I don't think it's genuine if they do, because of the coming out next to the card of deceit. But if this is somebody expressing their feelings, hear what they have to say, but take it with a grain of salt. That's the honest to goodness truth. Because, yeah, they may come gushing to you with feelings like this queen, but really they're just a page and they're not really that mature. Let me see what else wants to come out. Well, I'm glad you're not joking, Meta, and I felt your energy. I felt that was a sincere question. That's why I stopped the reading to answer you, and I just think that's lovely that you're bothering to ask. I think that's really sincere on your part. Hey, Drake. Good evening. What else can we tell my collective? These cards are so tight tonight. Oh, my goodness. We have a new moon coming up this week, don't we? Okay, I'll be traveling. That'll be interesting. Yeah. I like to meditate on new and full moons because the energies are different on those days. Yeah, this... Okay. Now, don't know which side of the story you're going to be on. Somebody here is going to be really, really up in their head. I get the feeling it's the person that may be coming towards you with this, we'll call it an apology, but some kind of expression of feelings. I feel like they may really be up in their head. This could be you. It could be saying this person who comes to you and reveals this whatever feelings they're going to tell you about. It could put you in your head, because the Eight of Swords is the overthinking card. But what that's about, I mean, what the sequence of cards, the Seven of Pentacles talks about things being, it's a divine timing card. It also speaks about doing things for the long haul. This, this is a farmer who's planted seeds in the field, and he's now starting to see these seeds pop up, but he's wondering, gee, are these really going to produce fruit? Looking at the long-term situation, assessing. This is a card of assessing. And all of that shuffling, you guys saw me shuffle, all of that shuffling, and guess who came back? So this has to do with feelings, being open to feelings, debating about feelings, wondering if you should give up on something, something that maybe, again, it could be this person, but it could be you too. Having sleepless nights. There's that overthinking card again, having sleepless nights. So this might put you, I don't have a tower here, but it could really put you into analysis paralysis if you're not careful. Hey, Miss Gracie, aka Mitzi, Mishi Bear. Sorry, that's so interesting. That was a Freudian slip. I used to have a student named Mitzi, M-I-T-Z-Y. And I called you, I was trying to say Mishi Bear, but I didn't. All right, we'll blame it on Mercury. So I was going to stay, I told y'all I was going to stay at a hotel or try to stay at a hotel by the river in Girardeau, I believe it's Missouri, tomorrow night. But that's not happening because all the hotels are booked and they were ridiculously expensive down there. I don't know what's going on in Girardeau, Missouri, but something. Hey, Anna, how are you? Hey, Kurt. Hey, Anna, I love y'all. So that's not happening, but I am staying near. I found this cute little cozy Airbnb near there in the suburb of Girardeau. So I'll be staying there. And I was planning to go see the Field of Dreams on my way up, but I think that's going to be added into the return trip. So we'll see. Love you too, sweetheart. I love you to the moon and back. I missed you. I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. I've missed you. I'm telling you, these cards, I don't know what to do. I feel like throwing them up in the air. They're just not wanting to talk tonight. Just wanted me to turn it over. Okay, well, this could involve a soulmate. Now, don't jump to conclusions about it being romantic. In a general reading, although it could, in a general reading like this, it could just be this person coming in and say, I've learned, this could be a family member, as I said, or a friend or a workmate. You had some kind of a deceptive something happened here. And now they're coming back around and they may be saying, I've learned my lesson about that. Although I would rather have seen this in reverse. So I'm still not trusting it. And I really care about you. Maybe we're even soulmates. I think we have a lot in common. Let's make nice. I'm speaking sarcastically because that's how this energy it almost feels like, what's the word? I can't think of the word. It starts with a P. But anyway, it doesn't sound sincere. It doesn't feel sincere. Excuse me. It may sound sincere. It doesn't necessarily feel that way. Geraldo, I can't. Yeah, visit Lambert's Road Roll. Is that a restaurant or a bar? Or what is that? I can't drive after dark. So if it's after dark, I can't do it. I really want to get there early early enough to go out and see something before dark. I'm going to try. Oh, thank you, Anna. I know. And I actually thought about that because I debated about staying over and not leaving until Tuesday. The problem with that is my closing on my townhouse I'm selling is the following week. And if anything happens and, stuff happens and we're in Mercury retrograde and travels, then it might potentially mean I couldn't get back for the closing. And so I just had to go ahead and book the trip and get on up the road. I just didn't want to take a chance of something, messing up in that regard. Giraldo? Well, I know, but I only said Girardo because Gerardo's ChatGPT pronounced it for me, and I'm still struggling with it. That town that starts with the letter G. Okay, give me 2 more cards, please. These people do not have all night. My goodness. Please, please, please. Come on. Well, all right. We'll take 3. Okay, so whatever this is, I can tend to continue to call it a deception that this person's coming in with, because when we're doing a reading, typically that first card that hits the table is typically the most powerful one. Not always, but so they may come in and gosh, this looks like a love reading, but I didn't specify, so we're not going there. It has a tendency to make or break your stability and your home life. This is involving some kind of a reconciliation. Again, that could be family, that could be a lover, that could be a boss, that could be your next door neighbor who was throwing his lawnmower clippings into your backyard. I don't know what it is, but there's something here that it's saying if you accept this, or the question is whether or not you should, of course, it's going to potentially affect your stability. Again, your home life, happy. Let me explain. King of Pentacles. Okay. This card is, yes, it is a king. It is a person, but it talks in a general reading. It, to me, represents stability and money, and whether your money is good or not. Let me move these up. And the 10 of Cups means in the upright, happy home, happiness, and all the things, the dog, the kids, the picket fence. Judgment in the upright is an awakening. Now, we can have all kinds of awakenings, can't we? It could be somebody waking up, trying to make changes in their lives. It could be someone having an epiphany about something. It can be just like a spiritual awakening. It can be any of those things. And yes, in the tarot, and like in love readings, it can be reconciliation of some kind. Now, when cards come out sideways, it means these particular meanings of these cards, these aspects are undecided if they're going to be in the positive or the reverse, the upright or the reverse, the positive or the negative, if you want. And so that's what's at stake here when this person comes in. And to drive that point home at the bottom of the deck, not only will it affect your home and environment, it will affect your personal happiness. The 9 of Cups. Hey, Nancy, good evening. And Savgray, good evening. There's a lot of fear around this. I'm going to ask, will you give me something from this deck, please? Can you give me advice on this? Because this is kind of open-ended. Okay, that's what's coming in, but can you give me advice for my collective? What should they do about this? What should they do? Please and thank you. Are y'all watching this? Or you tell me? Y'all tell me in the chat, because I'm trying not to be distracted by it. But anything happening down there, let me know. Oh, yeah. By the way, Grace Happens Daily has her own tarot channel and other things, but YouTube channel, and she's an excellent reader. So please go and check her out. But she's saying it's got X energy to me. I can't lie. I cannot lie. If I put my personal story on this, that's what it feels like. I agree. But I asked for general reading, so I didn't want to, I didn't want to go into that territory. I didn't want to jump there. Oh, you're very welcome. Can you give me some advice, please, for my audience here? Please and thank you. And I don't know if this deck is just still not wanting to talk, is it? I love it. It's such a nice little size. And sometimes it just, okay. No, it's just saying I want the night off. Mama D, I'm not talking tonight. I want the night off. Okay. We'll ask this one. So what is the... Grace is saying, yeah, I guess I jumped. My ex has come up quite a bit lately when when I read for you. And you know how hard I tried for that not to be the case on that one reading. I remember that, and it just kept coming up. I do know. Show me, please, some advice. Why my voice croaking, whatever. Advice for my collective about what to do for this situation. It's kind of a cliffhanger here. I know, that's what I said, no bad cards. Because I remember that energy, I just could feel it. I felt like it was just like this, I want to say syrup, but no, syrup sweet. It felt more like tar trying to just like what was that movie? Was it called It? With Kurt Russell way back. I think they did a remake of it. Anyway, they were stranded out in the middle of the North Pole or somewhere, and it was a sci-fi film, and it was like this little black tar kept just kind of trying to creep in and take over things, and that's what it felt like. You felt the downward spiral of it, like, oh no. Hey, Matthew, good evening. Thank you for popping in tonight. Lovely always to have you and your good energy. And how is Eli doing tonight? I meant to ask, or did I? I hope I asked. I meant to ask. This is way too many cards, but I don't know. I'm going to take a look at these real quick, but that's like a whole long story here. Let me take a quick look. Talk amongst yourselves. Ooh, whole lot of swords here. Twice have the Eight of Swords here. Okay. Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Okay, you're on your own. But what I will say, this story talks about things coming to light. And what I feel like is coming to light is that you don't see that you have the power. You don't see that you have the resources to overcome this. And this is important because we have the Eight of Swords twice and then the Nine of Swords. That is anxiety, stress. And Spirit is saying you need to move on. You need to move away from that because these two relate to each other. It's almost like this might as well be the same in the reading. The energy is it's just saying, be careful because this will escalate to that. So you need to move on from that. You need to move away from that. Because I think if you engage in, let me say it this way. What I feel this message is trying to say, if you engage with this person and meet them where they are in a low vibrational place, in a low frequency, which is how they're coming to you, you may well get stuck back here in this place. So Spirit is saying, don't do that. Instead, be this magician. Know that you have all the resources so that you're not stuck here and you can move on from this disappointment. You'll be in your power. Move on into fertile lands, shall we say, in your life, right? So that you don't get stuck here. Be careful. This is the caution. Lot of swords here. Don't get stuck in this mental overload here, so that you don't get in this tailspin. Because I think whatever this is, you're a bit worn out over it. You're like, I'm not sure that this is ever going to heal, is what I'm hearing. But whatever the case, I'm kind of worn out. I've been taking a time out, and frankly, I'm worn out. I think maybe this person dropped the ball way back there, okay? But I don't feel like I need to fight for this anymore. I just don't. I think that I need to just put it down, let it go, and let the sun come in. Focus on what, this is also illumination. In other words, if you, I'm trying to think of a good analogy. You know, it's like if you're focusing on darkness, you can't even see that little crack of sunlight. So focus on the good things, focus on happiness, focus on what makes you happy, and that you'll pull more of that into your life, right? Because I think the alternative is this may well cause a tower. If you meet this with the same energy that it comes into you this week, I'm gonna have to play this back. I may have to, who knows what's coming toward me this week. You may end up in a tower. So it's asking you essentially to keep your nose to the grindstone. Do you work on you, maybe even focus on work. If this person comes in and tries to make nice with you, maybe you just say, well, I just really need to focus on work. I don't really have time for this right now, whatever. That's your choice. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but this feels like a lesson in, and I love, because that's what these three cards would represent. That's why these are in flux. That's why these three cards are undetermined yet as to whether they're going to be upright or reversed. Because your stability is in question here when this happens. And your stability is in your control, nobody else's. You make the choice about that. No matter what happens, it's never about what happens to us. It's how we handle what happens to us. It's what we do with it that matters. So that's what Spirit's saying to you this week. What you do with this, it's not about that person, whether you take them or don't, whatever. It's how you meet it. If you meet them, you know, if you go tit for tat with this person, well, you did this and you did that, and I don't want in, and you put me in this mental prison and you did this, and yeah, then you're going to get caught back in there and you're going to experience a tower in the end. So don't do that. Spirit's asking you to take the high road here. Not high road in that maybe you can't forgive this person, maybe you can't forget it, but put yourself in higher frequency energy this week when this happens. Breathe deeply. I always tell y'all that, breathe deeply. And just try to not let it pull you into that lower frequency energy and pull you into that negative place, because it has the potential. And focus on happy things, literally. You know, I talk about law of attraction here a lot. Focus on the happy stuff. What you focus on, you're going to get more of. So what do you want more of? I want more of this. I want more of this happy stuff going on in my life. Thank you very much. And if that means I just have to focus on work and block out the other things, then I'll do that. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. That is not a sacrifice. That's a road to a better place. It's a tool to get me to a better place. Whew, well, that was interesting. Okay, I hope that helped somebody out there this week. I hope this doesn't end up being too ugly. Y'all let me know. Come back and put it in the comments or something. Let me know. Send me a message. What that looks like, what that ends up happening, how that plays out in your life. Yeesh. Okay. Now, let me get over here. Jaya, are you still here in the chat, please? If so, I will do your reading. I know you posted your question way up there, but that's why I asked you to wait, because it might get lost in the chat. Hello, Mariana, Hanner. Good evening. Francis, I'm not sure yet. I'm asking because I had given it away to a young woman. I think it's a young woman. I don't really know that. I shouldn't say that. It feels that way. And I'm asking just now if she's still here. If she's not here, then we'll see. So, Jaya, Jaya, am I saying that correctly? If you're here, speak up, please, in the chat to claim your reading. So, guys, this was the live is giving you a week ahead check-in, just general energy. So you might want to go back and replay that if you're just coming in. If you like how I read, I do personal readings. You can also reach out to me. My email is in the description box. And what else? I probably won't go live like this week. I'll do some little mini lives along the trip, I'm thinking. But if you want a reading, other than the free reading, I give one free reading away. You can purchase a reading. That information is also in the comment box. So I haven't heard anything. Jaya, are you still here? One last call, or I'm going to give you a reading to Francis. You have to be here to get your reading in person. Thank you, Mishi. It's interesting how these cards are behaving tonight. So I was debating about, I want to take some decks with me, obviously, and I was debating about which ones. Are y'all nervous about traveling? Is that? I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. I would love to know why this thing keeps going off, because I don't think it's. Wow, I have a moment. I'm going to tell you a little secret. Because most people know that the EMFs, that your appliances and electronics and devices put off EMF signals, which are electromagnetic field signals, which are not good for the human body, okay? That's what this, you can go around your house and hold it up next to your microwave and your stove, and it'll start bleeping all the different color lights. That's how you know. So that's why I'm trying not to put it near any electronics, so you can see it. But you get nervous when traveling too. Well, Deborah, I didn't used to. I used to be an avid traveler, but you know, as I've gotten older, road trips get harder on the body. It just does. Okay, so Francis, post your question, because I don't think this person is still here. So Francis, I'm going to give the free reading to you. One question, please. Anyway, what was I going to say about that? Oh, so I thought it would be fun because it also detects, like, if there's other kind of energy in the room. But what I started to say, you can heal the energy of your phones and your iPads and your routers and all that, your Wi-Fi stuff, so that it doesn't put out negative energy. And no, I'm not going to tell you how to do it right now, but you can do that. And that's why I've done that. See, I've healed my watch so it doesn't put off my signal. I don't have a long enough corridor. I'd show you this iPad. I've healed it also. And my, oh, I don't know, my new phone. I might not have done that on my new phone. I need to check that. Okay, I'm tuning in to your question, Francis. And I'm guessing I'm making a leap here that this is you that you're asking about. I was immediately drawn to the lower, like your lower limbs. Are you experiencing some kind of neuropathy or something to do with your feet? Is that a part of this condition? I want to be sure I'm picking up your energy, so I'm asking you questions. So can you verify that for me? Or maybe you just recently started having issues. So I don't know why it's got, my point was, I don't know why it's beeping. There's nothing near it electronically, but I love that it is. Maybe my spirit team is just playing there. I know in my last trip, Deborah, that I made, the longest trip I've made in a while, I went to visit my friend in North Georgia, but I stopped in Atlanta and spent the night with another friend and then went up there. And so it was about a 6-hour drive because on the way back I did the whole thing. And that was a long day, and these are going to be longer. So, well, Francis, this feels like a circulatory problem to me. Now, full disclaimer, I have to say I'm not a medical professional. Obviously, you need to seek medical help. However, what I can tell you, gums and teeth, well, I don't know about gums, but teeth, I'm going to sound like I'm off topic a little bit, but hang in here with me. Teeth relate to personal power issues. So I'm going to ask you a very pointed question. Where in your life do you feel that you've had to sacrifice your personal power or your personal what are you saying? Excuse me. My team is saying, for one thing, you have difficulty saying no to people, or maybe specific people. And so this is because the way illnesses materialize, it starts in the energy body first. Your emotions affect the energy body affects the physical body. So it's a flow of energy, or in this case, a lack of flow of energy. So, for example, if you're if you're giving your power away and you're not feeling good about that, you're not giving it willingly, you're giving it because you have to, or maybe you're giving it and it's not being honored, like for example at work. Okay, that's what I'm feeling. Francis Sam, recovering people pleaser, and I have that T-shirt, so this is something I know a lot about personally. But when you do it to your own detriment, you're sacrificing more than your body, your neurological system, your emotions can really do and keep you balanced. Yourself, your higher self, your subconscious self knows that. And that's where that imbalance starts. So it starts in the energy body, and then it affects specific parts of your physical body. And in this case, all right, who did that and how in the world did you do that? Adia did that. I don't know how you did that. That is so clever. Thank you for the reminder. I have such a good team here, y'all. Thank you. I could drink that whole thing. I did not drink enough today, and you know. Thank you, Adia. So it feels to me like this is an energy issue that's causing, and so when I say circulatory, yes, it could literally be circulatory part of your physical body, but it feels more like the energy is blocked here, and that's causing deterioration. I can just tell you what I'm feeling. Now, what to do about that, you have to learn to say no. And you can say no in a very kind way. You can say, you can learn to, in fact, Google it or talk to a professional or whatever you feel is your best guidance. It really is, when it comes down to it, about putting you first in a healthy way, learning to love yourself. Because here's the thing, you can't give to other people when you're depleted. And if you're giving to the point, like you say at work, like that, then you're also resenting it. And so it's almost like I'm going to give this, but I'm not happy at myself for doing it. So let me punish myself. I'm just going to shut down a little bit. And also, I feel you clench your jaws. Do you sleep with maybe you should, do you grind your teeth at night? Because I'm feeling a lot of tension in their jaws right now. Yes, resentment is absolutely there. Yeah. I know, I feel it, and I feel a lot of tension in here. I sleep, just so you know you're in good company. I sleep with the bite plate every night because I grind my teeth. So I'm right there with you. It's not a criticism. I'm just saying. But I just felt that. Yeah, yes, you do. A lot of tension in the jaws. So this feels like misalignment of energy. Can I just sum it up like that? It's a misalignment of energy. You're not getting the right energy supply. You're cutting it off because you're wanting to shut this down, part of you, and the other part is giving it away with a smile, but that's not genuine, and you know it. And so it's like we feel guilty when we do that, or we feel like we need to. Why did you do that? You put this. It's not punishment, but you should have known better. You talk negatively to yourself when you do that kind of thing. And again, I'm speaking from experience. So the best way to handle it is start being honest. I don't want to do that. Now, if it's a job and they're used to you giving like that, that might be a little tricky. Um, but I'm just answering your question about what's going on there. You're saying it really resonated with me. My body is sending me a signal what something is out of balance. Yes, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yes. And if you don't address this, because I did get real strongly something with your toes and your feet, or I don't know. That's also, I'm not saying you're diabetic, but it feels like, because your energy system, it does not just here, it's a flow. It's a flow. And when one part is blocked, it affects the natural flow in your whole body. But I'm feeling if you don't address this, you're going to have issues. I keep seeing your feet. Again, I hear the word neuropathy. I don't even know what that means technically, but I think it's when you start losing feeling and sensation. Isn't that right? Does anybody in the chat know? When you start not being able to have the feeling sensation in your limbs or your toes. Adia, you're a grinder too, but your retainer amps, yeah. Yeah, I've got one of those. Well, mine's custom made. I got it from my dentist. Yep, I grind it good at night. I look at it in the mornings, think, how did that not grind all the way through that thing? I don't know what it's made of, but anyway. So, Francis, I hope that helps, but I would recommend you asking yourself, oh, you're very welcome. You're saying, thank you, I appreciate it. It's something I have to address and get the circulation and energy flowing. Precisely. I so appreciate that you got what I was trying to say throughout that whole thing. Yes. Deborah, thank you. Deborah's verifying a loss of feeling is neuropathy. Thank you. I was feeling that. And yeah, thank you, Deborah. Because I think it's going to spread if you don't. it's such an interesting thing. I do energy work with people. I teach that in my meditation group. And one of the first things I talk to them about is how you may be drawn to touch, let's say here, when you know that person has a broken ankle or a sprained ankle, and your mind wants to go there. Your mind is telling you, but that's hurting. That's where, but that might not be where the imbalance is. The imbalance could be at one end of your body and it's causing a problem at another. So that's just a little sidebar of information for you guys. But the point is, it affects your whole body when something's out of balance. So I would recommend, Frances, that you start looking into healthy ways to honor yourself, to do self-care, loving yourself more in general. Doing affirmations that state that I'm worthy, I deserve to be treated with respect. I'm honored for the work that I do. I'm recognized and respected for the work that I do. That way you don't feel like you're giving it away for nothing. It's valued. But even more importantly is I have good boundaries about giving things away. I give things away to people who appreciate what I do. And so it all comes back to a self-worth issue, because people pleasers like us, we do that because in our past, way back in our past, in our childhood somewhere, we felt, for all the reasons, there could be 100 different reasons because we all have different experiences. Somewhere back there, we felt in order to be loved, we had to ABC. We had to do more. We had to be more. We had to be the smartest one in the room. We had to, again, I'll do everything. I'll fix this. I'm the fixer. I'm the doer. I'm the people pleaser, in order to be loved. So as an adult, you grow up, you're still in that pattern. So you have to go back to the source of the wound, or at least to be able to acknowledge that that is the wound, to be able to heal it. So your wound, even though you may or may not trace it back, we could talk about that. Oh, Adia, how sweetheart. Thank you for that. You need to know that it's connected way back there, first of all, and then work on, wait 1 second, let me write that down. Honoring yourself in the present. Honoring your choices in the present. I make good choices about how much I give and who I give to. Anyway, I could talk for a while on that, but I hope that helps. I really, really do. I hope that helps, Frances. And thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate you very much, and I hope you'll come back and visit us again and be a regular here. That would be lovely. Idea, what do I currently need to know? Well, you are not going to like me for saying this. I'm going to pull some cards, but your daughter's still getting to you. I feel it. And I'm not going to tell you what, yeah, I am going to tell you what I heard. I want to say it differently, though, than that. I'm going to pull some cards for you, but here's what I'm seeing. We talked. We had a little chat. And I feel like you're saying yes. Oh, I love that, Deborah. Yes, Tai Chi is a good way to help circulation and decrease neuropathy. Beautiful. There's a beautiful suggestion for you, Frances. I love that. Thank you, Deborah. I kind of forget that sometimes, but that's absolutely true, Deborah. Thank you. So, Adia, I think it's like I see you trying so hard, and I see you trying using some of the things that we talked about. But I see this pendulum swinging almost like in two extremes, and you're passing the middle point. In other words, sometimes I think she really takes advantage of you, And then sometimes I think you still hold that hard line, and where you want to be is somewhere in the middle, like we talked about. I won't go into the details. But you haven't found it yet, or you haven't been able to stay there consistently yet. That's kind of the general energy I'm feeling about that. So that being said, does anybody want to talk tonight? Or are you all kind of being shy tonight? All my cards are just acting weird tonight. Might have been. That's what I was thinking. Maybe your team showed up. That is so fun. I'm having fun with this little thing. I didn't know. Okay, what does Adia need to know here? What does Adia need to know? That's just so fun. Trying to find the balance. Yep. Okay, can you show me what Adia needs to know, please? I don't know if this deck's going to talk either anymore. Okay. Let's try this one. Because at first I thought, is it my hand? But you see, my hand it's not going off. I don't think it's me. Okay, can you please show me what does Adia need to know? Okay, let's see. They want me to look at those. Okay. What are you saying? What? If I had nothing but time, I'd love to see if this thing going off, if there were any orbs in the video. But I don't have that kind of time to go back and look. All right, bear with me. I'm not sure what they're trying to say here. Oh, I see. What's after that? Well, trying to think of how to put this into words. Okay. Eliana, good evening. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us tonight. You haven't seen any orbs. I used to see them on my older videos. I haven't. Maybe it's the lighting. Sometimes it has to be just for whatever. I don't know. I remember seeing them in some of my very first videos. That I used to see them more. Okay, so I feel like this is a couple of things. hang on a minute. I'm getting downloads, and I'm trying to sort it out in here. Okay, y'all gonna have to simplify that, because that's like a can of wiggling worms in there. One. Hey, Gio, good evening. Well, yeah, we did have an interesting week ahead reading, Gio. You might want to go back and play that one. I don't know. Rewind. Okay, here's the thing. A couple of messages here. I think you are not, let me qualify this. Because of what you're going through, and I know some things you haven't spoken about here, but some physical 3D world challenges that you're going through right now, okay? You're not in a good place because of those, and I wouldn't be either. I'm no judgment. And you're trying to kind of, here's the, oh, this is so complicated. When they give me this much, I wish they wouldn't sometimes. I wish they'd give me one and then give me the other, and most of the time they do. Anyway, sorry guys, you just make it hard tonight. I'm hearing that remember who you are. Remember who you are. You are a high priestess, and you know this because we've talked about this whole conversation about spiritual hierarchy, spiritual authority, and yet because of what you're going through, this is where you are right now. You're like, my dreams aren't coming true. I can't see any of them, and I'm unhappy. And I feel honestly a bit betrayed by life right now. You can tell me if this is not true, but it feels like and you're struggling. I know, with trying to keep yourself afloat financially, and I mean you're not starving. I don't mean that, but it's an issue. It's a concern rather. You're not happy with any of the love options that you've been given. You want to move. You want this to be over. You want to move to calmer waters. Well, duh, who wouldn't? And I feel like you're just feeling like, okay, these are, yeah, you're juggling a lot. Simple, you're juggling a lot. Okay, but these feel like hot potatoes, like hot irons. Like somebody, have you ever seen those guys that juggle those, I guess they're batons or something, and they're lit on fire and they're whatever. That's what this feels like to me. This feels more like that. Like that's what you feel like you're doing right now. And so the advice, because then when I look underneath here, but the truth of it is, that's what the 3D world would have you believe, because that's what's going on right now. But look, Spirit wants you to remember who you truly are. Spirit wants you to get back in touch with the love, this Queen of Cups part of you. Now, I'm not saying go out to the street corner and start hugging everybody as they walk by. There is I don't know what her title is, but there's a lady in India that does that. That's her ministry is hugging people. I mean, she has thousands and thousands and thousands of people that come to her events just to get a hug from her. Because her energy is supposedly healing. I think that's fabulous. I think Spirit is asking you to see the truth here. See the truth. The truth is, yes, all of this is happening, but you know darn good and well it can turn around on a dime too. So don't let yourself buy into the fact that you're going to be in this place forever. Because that's easy. When we're in a bad place, it feels like we're going to be here forever. That's a human nature thing. And I totally get it. Now, I don't know. I feel like even though this is an Ace of Wands, I'm going to say two things about this. You're starting to feel like you're losing passion for life in general, for work. I think but I feel like this. I heard that because I know this is not a pentacle here. This is a wand. I understand, but it's like you're feeling frustrated. Like, well, I might as well not try because every time I think something comes up and it might be a good opportunity. Like I feel specifically there's been one, and I'm talking about job opportunities. I feel specifically there's been one that kind of looked good on the surface and then it just evaporates into thin air, or it doesn't pan out, or it wasn't what they told you it was, or something like that. And so I think you're just feeling down and out about all that. And I'll tell you what, and I think you feel like people are just trying to take advantage of you in some way. And I heard, and I don't have any idea how this would apply, but I heard to meet their own quotas. I don't know what that means relative to your situation. Let me go back up here. See what. Idea saying it's true. I'm budgeting carefully. I refuse to date. I want to leave Florida. It's been a lot lately. Indeed, a general loss of passion. I can feel that. I don't need the cards, but it's nice to have the cards to back it up. But Spirit's wanting you to try to keep some spark of curiosity alive. I know, yeah, this is, and which, okay, because the cards just keep telling that story, disappointment. Yeah, I mean, do you know what I want to do? Because I felt, the energy I felt was you're feeling a bit like a victim right now. And that's not meant as a criticism. Because if I was in your shoes, I would probably be feeling that too. So please understand, I'm not coming from that place. But you can't get to where you want to be when you're stuck in that energy. Because you know me, I'm going to talk about law of attraction. You can't get to where you want to be. So I'm wondering, I almost feel like, I feel kind of led to, and I want to ask you if it's okay. Can I pull some cards about what, about Florida, about if you leave Florida? Because I kind of feel like that hit for me when you said that about leaving Florida. I think you do better somewhere else, intuitively. Yeah, budget. Okay, yeah, it's been a lot lately. Yes, I do feel that way. She's not doing her part around here. Yeah. Yes. Okay. That feels right to me to do that. I'm asking if they want me to change decks, stay with this one. Okay. What would be the potential outcome for Adia if she decides to leave Florida and go somewhere else? That was awfully quick. I'm not sure because I didn't. Oh, well, I started saying, didn't get the question out, but yeah. Well, yeah, this is more about, deciding. Okay, yeah. That's basically the question you just asked. We just asked right here in the cards. I don't know if I should change or not. I don't know if I should let go and end this thing in Florida to go seek my happy ever after. I don't know where I should put myself for the next millennium. That's kind of the question right there. Let's keep going. Let me see what else pops out. Because that's what you're doing here. You're assessing. That's what this card means to me. Should I stay here? I don't know. All right. So, what is the potential for Adia if she leaves Florida? Ooh, ooh, sorry, making all kinds of noise. Didn't know all those cards fell out. Okay. Wow. Wow. We have all of those cards, a major arcana. Do you see that? Every one of these. 4 cards, 4 out of 4, major arcana. So this would be a major adjustment, a major change. But what I love about this, and the sun means, the sun is a happy card, even when it's in the reverse. And you know this because you know tarot. But sometimes it means, but you can't see, your view is obscured. It's like, the sun is there, but it's behind the clouds. So it might be obscured. In other words, you might not get the immediate results that you were hoping for. Until you change your perspective, because this is saying there's something you're resisting. I think this is, this is this is in the reverse. Hangman in reverse is not willing to surrender. So there's something that you have to give up. This is what I'm getting here. You've got to surrender. So you got to leave something behind in Florida. I don't know if it's a way of thinking. It kind of feels that way to me. If it's an attitude, a way of thinking, a belief about something, that's when you can end this cycle that you've been, or that you're in. There's something here they're wanting you to awaken to. Now, it's odd because I want to know what this Judgment card is saying. Judgment in reverse. Let me see what's down here. It's just not giving a real yes or no here. So let me dig a little deeper for you. It may seem a little reckless. You might not see any action coming for a while. I got that energy from the sun. What is this Judgment in reverse telling me for her if she moves? What is this Judgment in reverse telling me? Leaving family behind. I think that's probably what it has to do with, because there was a 6 of Cups back there in the deck, at the bottom of the deck. Give me one more on the Judgment, at least, maybe more. Give me another card, please. Yeah, leaving collaborations and people that you love behind. That's what I would take that to mean. So, I got to say this too. It almost feels like unfinished business. Like maybe the reason this is in reverse is because you'd have to close out cycles, and that involves collaborations and people that you care about, which is basically kind of what you were saying, I think, leaving family behind. And until you do that, the Judgment, it's almost like karma. It's like I'm hearing like unfinished business. Karma, you've got to finish something. And I think this isn't, honestly, I feel like this is internal, not like just going and having a party and saying goodbye to everybody. This feels more like an internal, some kind of an internal release is what this feels like to me, Adia. Hey, Kelly, good evening. Welcome in. What else do you want to tell me about this? Because this seems to be the nugget here, this Judgment reversed. It almost feels like, just leaving everything in the rearview mirror, but not in a vengeful way. Yeah, don't deceive yourself. I love it when Tara backs me up. What did it just say? But not leaving them high, not leaving them in a vengeful way, like, I'm going to show you, I'm going to burn that bridge on my way out the door. That would be a strategy the Seven of Swords would do. You know, I'm going to make a strategy. I'm going to sneak off in the middle of the night, and nobody's going to know I'm gone, and you're all going to be sorry for it. You're all going to be sorry you didn't treat me right. I mean, that's, I'm making, obviously I'm being dramatic, but what does it want you to do then? How does it want you to respond? Yeah, I felt like I didn't want to say that, but I felt you would know that's what I was referring to also. Yes, Anthony, letting go of Anthony. Yep, because he can't pop. You're going to love this. He can't pop up at your door if he doesn't know where you live. Just saying. I can't control the energy of my heart. I'm already done. Definitely what I had in mind. Okay. Nobody exits like a Scorpio, y'all. If you don't know that, newsflash, nobody exits like a Scorpio. You've never seen an exit. You won't see that exit, by the way. Oh, you'll see the dust and the smoke from the spinning tires, but you won't ever see them leave, right? Yeah, you've got to finish the cycle. You've got to, yeah. I was hoping it would tell me a little bit more, but I think it said all it's going to say on that. Okay, well, what does she need to do? What else can you tell me here? What other advice? I can't wait to be where he can't get to me, but my daughter doesn't seem to think I'll move. Well, yeah. Well, if it's any inspiration, I have slept better this last week than I've slept in probably the last 2 years. Just saying, Adia. I'm just saying. It takes a while for your neurological system to know that you're safe. And by safe, we're not talking about physically in danger here for anybody who's watching. I know her story and her background with this person we're talking about, and she knows mine. And so we're kind of having a half conversation, you know. Scorpio door slam, yeah, smoke into the next state. That's right. You know how we do. So, yeah, and so this feels like an internal cycle. It's like when you do this, I think the sun will go in the upright. So let's ask that question pointedly. So if she closes the emotional door with these people she has contracts with, let's put it like that, whether romantic, family, otherwise, what then would be the potential outcome of her moving out of Florida? Hey guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Thank you so much for you newcomers that are here and watching silently in the background, lurking in the background. I welcome all lurkers. Y'all lurk all you want to. I love it. People just hanging out. They're just, what's this old lady doing? There you go. My gosh. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. What's going to happen is you're going to make new collaborations. You're going to make new, yeah, friends, family, whatever, contracts. Yeah, I love that. Can this get clearer? It's in the reverse. You see this, right? You know that means you'll heal. You will. Could this be any clearer? You will. What happened over here? What did we have here? You will heal from this collaboration. Confirmation. I think that might be what's going on here. Maybe that's Spirit is using my EMF for confirmation on these messages. I like it. I'm talking to my team now. I like it, guys. Let's keep going. I don't know, my team, your team, whatever, but What else? What else will she experience? Healing that heart. Yep. I'm telling you that. Yeah. Now, I'm not giving that advice to everybody in the world just to get over a broken heart. You should move states, to be clear. But our teams collaborate. I think they do. I truly believe it. Cannot make it up. Thank you. Thank you, team. Thank you, Spirit. All right. What did we have over here? Let me show you this. You got to see this. I asked to clarify this judgment card in reverse. What that was about. What did I get? I got the 3 collaborations, 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups, 7 of Swords. Once she closes this out, Spirit, and if she, what would that look like if she can close out this cycle and move out of the state of Georgia? New collaborations, a healing of your broken heart, putting this in the reverse in the past. Can you make that up? No. Both of these cards. But this is now in the reverse. This deception, this trickery. Oh, yes. You're not going to have to sneak around anymore, girl. And what's at the bottom of the deck? Wheel of Fortune. Thank you very much. In the upright. Oh, yes. Wheel of Fortune. Guess what's behind that? Ready? Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Ace of Cups. Let's see. We'll find out together what's behind that. Oh, my God. You can't make this stuff up. And the 10 of Cups. Are you kidding? Should we go one more? What do you think? One more? What's under there? I will go 2 more. No freaking way. Are you kidding me? You're seeing this live. 10 of Cups, happiness. 2 of Cups, making a good, healthy choice for very possibly a brand new soulmate to come in. Oh, yes, thank you very much. And that's the truth. Oh, my God, I love that, love that. Putting all that in the past. Oh, my God. Oh, Lord have mercy. Wow. I mean, can you stand it? Can you stand this? Woo! Can't make it up, girl. Your fortunes will change. You will find love. Now, this can be self-love. You need to fill this cup first. Let's just say that. First and foremost. But this is new love. Fill your cup first. You're going to have a happy home, happy family. You're going to make new collaborations. Did I not say? Good, healthy choice in love. Oh, man, I love that. Leaving this in the past. Thank you. In the reverse. Thank you. Thank you. Woo! Praise Jesus. Just had to say that. It's my Southern roots. My Southern Baptist roots coming out. I know, exactly. Mic drop. I keep meaning to go online and look for one of those like a little play microphone that won't, not a hard one, so I want a foam one or something. I want to get one of those. I said, Joy, I see you in Atlanta. I'm just going to say it out loud. Okay. I'm just going to say it out loud. You go wherever you want to, but I'm seeing you in Atlanta. Just saying. I love Atlanta. I'll come see you in Atlanta. We'll hang out in Atlanta. I used to live there. I lived there for 5 years. I love it over there. I was born in Georgia. Well, all right. Do you love Atlanta? I mean, I'm not telling you where to move, girl, but I wanted to say that earlier. It almost came out of my mouth earlier. And I said, no, I'm not going to say that. We don't know that. We don't know. I don't know where she's thinking about moving. And it just came out of my mouth. And I do see that you might make a happy transition there. We know life's not perfect. Come on, guys. You got to fix that. Life is just a reflection of the mirror. And I think that is the best, clearest analogy and lesson and way to go through life. If you're looking in the mirror and you're doing this, Don't expect the mirror to give you riches and happiness and a lover and everything you want. No, you have to get, that's why my tagline is get busy getting happy. It's going to reflect back to you the same energy that you're giving. So get busy getting happy, Adia. Change the energy. Give yourself closure or give these people closure, whatever you need to do back here. Turn that around. Yeah. Because this is, I feel like saying this world card is a noun and an adjective, noun and a verb. It is closure, and it is also giving closure, ending a cycle. You choose. In other words, you can wait for that. It is a cycle ending, but it may be telling us here that's what you need to do. And whether that's you giving yourself closure and just leaving or having that conversation, yeah. Of course, hey, Birmingham is kind of a cool town too. It's not Atlanta. We don't have the traffic Atlanta has either. I'm just saying. We have traffic, but not like Atlanta. So come on to Birmingham, girl. Come visit. We'll go see some sights. It's a southern city. It's not Florida. I love it. Yeah, you're going to have a tire moment, and it's going to be a good one. You're going to be unconventional. Yep, you're going to be the rebel in your family. I see it. You're going to go for your own personal happiness. Thank you very much. Yes, you are. And you're not going to tell anybody. You're going to keep it to yourself, and that's just fine. You're going to fill this cup. You're going to embody this Queen of Cups energy. You're going to move right on to those calmer waters, girl. I love it. I love it. Look at this. I'm just saying. Cards are just coming up roses. Love it, love it. Happy energy activated. It's like Wonder Twins activated. Wasn't that what that was? A TV show, Wonder Twins Activate or something, whatever that is. Oh my God. Let me see what y'all said up here. I love it, Lance. It's settled and those houses have basements. Oh, yes, they do. Not far from Florida. I know, it's just straight up the interstate. It's an easy drive. Sounds like a plan, Slap. Yep. Well, I did say that. I just feel that that could happen. Like I said, it just came out of my mouth. But you know, Birmingham, you could come over here too. I just don't think you'd be happy in a small town. I don't think, and let me explain. I'm feeling like your employment opportunity is going to be better for you in a bigger town. Let me put it like that. There we go. I really think that's awesome, girly. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Woohoo! Wow. Well, I'm going to leave it there. I think that's awesome, awesome. Michelle, what have you done? You do not have money to be doing that. You need to stop that. I've been meaning to talk to you about that. You know, for all you do here, I do give. I don't mind giving to you and Nadia especially because y'all are such awesome supporters here all the time for me. All right, I need to drink some water and take a minute. Take a minute. Woo! Oh, sweetie, you are very welcome. I appreciate you. I mean, sincerely, if y'all didn't come here and take care of these knuckleheads for me, I wouldn't want to be here. I mean, sincerely, I would not do these lives, I don't think, for very long. I would, y'all make it fun. And it's like I'm visiting with friends anyway. I love that part because we kind of know each other's story. I'm talking to Grace and Adia, for those of you who don't know, have been my moderators from the get-go, and they're friends now. We're not just moderators, they're friends. Well, yeah, I saw that you did that, and I don't really. We need to talk. We'll have an offline conversation about that. All right, but I'm here. So, what's your question, Miss Gracie? And I don't know, like I said, just to remind y'all, I'm not sure that I'll get in. My friend does not have Wi-Fi. We're kind of camping out. You know, she's moved. She bought this beautiful, it's a tiny home, but it's a luxury tiny home. And she's moved it to Oregon. So she's already got her home set up there, and she's just going back. We're rendezvousing. She drove back to Minnesota because she's selling her townhome there. So she's getting rid of her stuff there. So we'll probably be sleeping on air mattresses and camping out for the 2 days. So she's already shut her Wi-Fi down. So I won't have an internet while I'm there. Yeah, so it's going to be hit and miss on that. All right, let me see here. We ran most of them off. Well, good. That's all right. I don't, run all the knuckleheads off. Dia saying, I knew that it was time. Also, know that new opportunity is coming. Once I save enough, I'm selling everything and leaving quietly. Heck, I might just give it all away. I can't tell you, I did that. When I downsized from my big house after my divorce, I gave a lot of stuff away. And honestly, it felt good. I gave away, I didn't, well, that's another story. Anyway, it felt good. I won't lie. So, it's giving that stuff new life. Give it to somebody who really needs it and will use it and appreciate it. And I'm trying to remember the time frame I had talked to you about the job thing, and I, I can't remember now what I told you when we were talking. Anyway, let me move on here. What does Miss Gracie want to know tonight? I was thinking, Lord, your team will probably light this thing up all the way over here to red, knowing your team if they show up, they want to show themselves tonight. I was thinking 2 months, yeah. Yes, please keep us posted. We do, and we care. And I'm not kidding. If you want to come to Atlanta and hang out a little bit, excuse me, Freudian slip. You want to come to Birmingham, just let me know. Oh, good. And that's a good thing to do too when you're looking for a job and you're needing money, give things away. That keeps the circulation going. It's the opposite. People, when money's tight, we tend to want to hold on tighter, but that stops the flow. Keep it going. That's a good way to keep it going, to be giving stuff away. There it is. Yep. You're claiming Atlanta. All right. All right. You're claiming Atlanta. Well, I'm gonna support you. I'm totally supporting you for that. Or in that. All right, Mishi, what's your question, honey? I think I'm gonna do you and I'm gonna be out of here. I have to get up early in the morning. Apparently I'm going to Minnesota tomorrow. No, I'm determined it's going to be fun. What I mean is, I'm determined. It's funny, I've been talking to Hal. Hal and I've been talking about this. Y'all remember who Hal is, right? And it's just going to be a fun trip. And no matter what happens, I'm going to try to look for the gold in it and try to look for the hidden messages and, that lemonade, whatever happens. Gracie, where did you go? Hey, Carlos, good evening. What do I need to know? Oh, Lord, that's so hard when you ask me those general questions. And I'm joking and not joking because I remember you're... Oh, have mercy. You saw that, right? Replay the video. Rewind it. Oh, we're going to have fun with this. This is going to be fun. Because it's just sometimes your team pulls me through the rocks before they give me the answer. I'm looking at all these cards. What deck? What deck for Mishy Bear? Okay, we'll try this one. What does she need to know? What does she need to know? Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, y'all, and I always forget to mention I also do private readings, and you can book by emailing me. Excuse me, at Scorpio1111reads. It's in the description box. I know. It must be that quad Scorpio energy. What does she need to know? What does Michelle need to know? Okay. I'm hearing rejection is protection. Well, let's see what that means here. What? What? Okay. Yes. Yes, we know. We know this is where you are right now. And speaking of, for anybody who's watching, Michelle, who is here as Grace, that's her handle. She is a single mother raising 4 boys by herself with no help. So let's just say if anybody owns this card, it's her. Yeah. And that's a heavy, heavy burden. And she's looking for a job. So she is an extraordinary human being. And I just want the absolute best for her. But I feel like, did you recently, this feels like past tense to me. Tell me if not, we'll read it differently. Did you recently have, of course, it could have been your previous job, but this feels like something a little more in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Have something like almost come through and then it didn't? Like a job or something? That's what this feels like. And it could have had to do with your home. And I think you told me about, was this the lady? Yeah, that may be what that's referring to. Anyway, missed opportunity or in your home and family. That could be any number of things because I know your story. That's family not supporting you. That's the lady that was going to move in and do the things and that fell through. So I know, yeah, you're living that. Yeah. And you're doubting that you have the resources. This is telling me where you are and you're worn out. Okay, I know all that. But that's not, I mean, we know that. Thank you, Spirit. We appreciate you. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but we really want to know that she knows that. That's not what she needs to know. Oh my goodness, I just heard very loudly. They gave me those cards so I would say to you, even though you know this, and I know you know this, I'm supposed to say it out loud, but you need to know that Spirit sees it too. Mm-hmm. They see what nobody else sees. They see what's hidden, that you are being this boss emperor behind the scenes, even though you don't know where your next mortgage payment's coming from, even though you're feeling very unstable here. You're trying to make the best of a difficult situation and take care of your family. Now, that's one message. Now, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna leave those or not. We'll leave those. Now, thank you, Spirit, for giving me that message. Now, could you please give me something that will help her going forward, what she needs to know? Oops, I'm shuffling it backwards. Please and thank you. Stagnant energy with work. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me get back up here. Oh, living that. Starting to cry. Oh, you know. Stagnant energy with work, remodeling going on too. Yes, very accurate. Well, it's easy to tell what's already happened because I know your story. That's no magic, but I want to give you some magic. I don't know, I'm hearing leave that out. Let's see what all. That's a whole lot of cards, but we're gonna look. I'm just gonna look. I might put them back. Yeah, holding on tight, hoping for a victory. I think that's the job. Hoping somebody will want to collaborate in a job. I know. I feel like you're starting to shut down emotionally because you're trying not to live in the energy of fear. You know that's you intellectually, you know that's counterproductive, and but it's so entwined with your circumstances. It feels like you're trying to it's almost like you're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I have to shut everything down so I don't feel anything. Versus, I'm going to try to focus on this one thing and feel good about that, although I know all this hot mess is happening behind the scenes. Yeah. We know you're looking for no communication, not able to move on to these yet. I know, not able to move on. Family, yeah, not happy, but this is in the reverse. I like that. But it's telling, well, I like it. Well, I'd like it, I don't like it, but it's saying to me, I think you're not yet able to make a strategy here to get you out of this unstable. All right, we know all that. Good Lord, why is it? All right, team, come on. We're not going to spin. See, this is what I mean. Every reading I do for you, they drag me through the rocks. We're going to have a talk. Me and my team, and your team, we're going to have a talk about this. All right, we're going straight to the magic deck. Please and thank you, Spirit. I need something more specific for Michelle. What does she need to hear besides what I've given her? Let me see. Sometimes you have to reinvent yourself. Yeah, me, shout that, and that the truth, Deborah. Phoenix rising, I know it. Okay, can you please give me some encouraging messages of what Michelle needs to know? And that's why I call this the magic deck. Encouraging messages, the cycle is ending. It is ending. It's coming to an end. Yes. What's coming to an end? Things not being balanced, the bad karma. This is almost like, I don't want to read it this way, but I am going to say maybe this is some karmic debt that you had in another lifetime. Maybe, and we've talked about this before. I feel like you agreed to take on ending ancestral karma when you came into this lifetime. I think that's part of what you're going through, and the weight that you're bearing. Yep. Yep. And you're going to be starting to move forward and putting this down, this heavy burden. I know you, and what's coming to light? Yeah. Why it's going to come to light why you're not, I love that. It's going to come to light about why you haven't been able to move on. And why there's no collaboration here. And why you've been disappointed. Just don't give up. It's asking you to be in your Empress energy. That's what's going to have to, that's what it's going to take. Ooh, that's a hard ask, isn't it? That seems like such a simple thing, but y'all, it's not. Let me tell y'all why, for those of you who may not know. In the tarot deck, the Empress is all the four queens. Now, she has to have lived through all the journey of the tarot for the Queen of Wands, all the journey that and struggles of the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, all of that journey of all four queens, all their struggles put together. You have to have gone through and experienced that before you can come into and live in this Empress energy. And the same thing with the Emperor and the Kings. And this is not about gender. And so I feel like that's what Spirit is telling you. And I also am getting a message here, the right collaboration. Is that what I'm hearing? The right collaboration has not happened yet. A collaboration, job-wise, this has not happened yet because it's not the right one. Okay. Yeah, you got to shift some energy here for sure. But when you do, oh, let me get that back over here. Show you what's at the bottom. Empress, things start moving fast. You see the direction. It's solid. You get to where you're going. You become independent, single. Yep. There's, yeah, you just, this has to do, you know what? What is this saying? Okay. I'm taking a bit of a leap here, whatever that means for me. You know, I'm always leaping. This feels like what you've got. I'm going back to that ancestral karma. There's something here that it's an energy that you've got to shift to bring this new abundance in. And it has to do with, I feel like it's family and or anything that pertains to home and family. I mean, this could be your in-laws. This could be, you know, bad juju energy, physical, you know, not physical energy, but literal energy around in and around your home. This could be emotional energy. Obviously, it's cups, right? That I feel like there's some letting go that you need to do, I'm hearing. Because there's some healing still around this Queen of Cups. It's no wonder. Do you know, how can I say this? Because we know the Queen of Cups is the Scorpio queen. And I'm just feeling like, and I'll show you why in a second. You still carry, I'm just going to say it, and you know I love you. There's some resentment and or some feelings about your situation, and that energy may very well be blocking new things coming in. I don't know how else to say that. That's the truth of it. And you got to let that go. It's toxic. And when you do, when you let that go, that's when the new opportunity comes in for you. And I feel like we're talking about a job here. Yeah. Because the instability is around your family. It's repeating. I don't know what to do about this instability. I'm feeling kind of a little bit needy or something, when you put the adjective to it, because of my family and things that happened in the past, and I can't seem to get away from it. Is that making any sense? Let me get over here and look at these comments. There's a Zoom meeting with the teams. I'm not hanging there. I thought so. It's the last final push of the bad cycle of years. That's what it feels like to me. Probably since my team and my ancestors backing me up, the Empress energy is like being above circumstances. I'm going to change that. I mean, maybe in certain stories, it doesn't. I can't agree with that in this case. It's not above it. It's through it. Because of just what I said about you have to live through the journeys of all those. Because you don't just jump to being an empress. You got to go through the mud. It's like the lotus. You got to live in that and go through all those struggles and overcome them to be able to be that empress. And that's what you've done or doing still in it. But I know the reference, so I know what you're talking about, because once you've done that, then you are above it. It's not affecting you. I knew what you meant, but just wanted to clarify. There has been a lot of labor on my part with my children to shift some patterns, but I think of blessing my home, doing a clearing. I think that would be good. Yeah, I do. I agree. I think doing a clearing in your house might be a good thing to do. And bear in mind that even objects have an energy imprint. Like if you have things in the house that were your ex-husband's, those would have his energy in it. And nothing bad about it. I'm not just saying. Look at things through those eyes when you do your energy clearing. Okay? Doesn't mean you got to throw it out in the street. It just means clear the energy. Okay? That's what this feels like to me, Michelle. I hope that made sense. Anything else? All right, I'm going to put those back and see if it wants to say it. I know I'm leaving that one out. I'm leaving that one out. We're leaving that out. Let's see if it wants to say anything else. Yes, those two. Yep. And I'll give you a little tip. Not only can you clear the energy out, turn around after you clear it and then bless it. Hold it in your hands and just say, I bless you. And I'm going to tell you what to say. You'll know. You'll know. Because each item would be different depending on its intended purpose. Anything else we can tell Michelle, please? You'll be guided. that right? I had a flipper there. Wait a minute. Yep. Making a strategy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. You are making a strategy. An exit strategy, if it were. Make a strategy to end that cycle, making a strategy. Now, it's funny too, because I don't often get that meaning, but it is one of the meanings of the Seven of Swords. You know, usually it's the deception card and it's all negative. That's not what I'm feeling. Nope, I feel like this is talking about, but here's the other thing too. It's interesting we were talking about energy right when this card came out. Because the story, as you know, and I'm just saying this for the benefit of other people because she reads tarot, she does know, is this person is sneaking into the enemy's camp under the cover of darkness and stealing their swords so that he has their team, he and his team, whatever, has an advantage in this, whatever this conflict is they're going through. That is strategy. And it's interesting that we're talking about energy, something that you can't see under the cover of darkness. So I don't think that was coincidental when that card fell out. And that's why I feel like it meant strategy. Make a strategy. Take care of the things that you cannot see. Do things, yeah, I like that. Interesting. Now, why did that come out? Watch your thoughts, Michelle. Be sure that you're not doubting your, it's a kind of a weird message, but doubting your ability to make good decisions. I feel like that might be an underlying subconscious pattern or thought. Because you are a person of strategy. Yeah. So I feel like this is so strange. These two cards together, as you know, are not good. Seven of Swords in the upright, the Magician in the reverse. This is deceptive, manipulative energy. Okay. And what I think it's talking about is you. Don't deceive yourself that the other meaning of the Magician in reverse is that I don't have the resources to do this. I feel like that's what this is talking about. Don't deceive yourself and start believing that you can't handle this, whatever it means, even if it meant, ultimately, I'm hearing that you have to move out of your house. How do you know that that's not a blessed redirection? And Spirit is saying that you can handle it. Just don't buy into the belief that you can't. Whatever is coming down the pipe for you, whatever. Because I feel like there's a question here that in your own mind, that whatever new is coming to you, you're going to make a bad decision about it. And that's going to cause more imbalance. Boy, I'm really going down the rabbit hole for you tonight, aren't I? What's underneath that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Uh, that is helpful. Okay, good. Those thoughts have come in. Yeah. Oh, goodness. And how could they not with what you're going through? How could they not? Mm, mm, mm. But I love it. It's interesting that these cards also came out for our other Scorpio tonight, Miss Adia. So don't deceive yourself. Don't let that creep in. Concentrate on the self-love because you're getting past this still, but it's in the reverse. You know that means you're healing it. You're still healing it. And I don't think this is just referring to that past relationship, your ex. I don't think so. I think it's bigger than that. I think it's healing. Okay, this is going to sound very generic, but I have to say it. Healing your feelings of self-love, not being lovable. Because when we don't feel that we're lovable, and life has shown us that through our relationships and experiences and jobs and all the things that people didn't respect us, then we start to believe it. And I think that's the biggest issue that you need, the biggest wound that you need to work on that can shift this energy. I believe that's what's the message here tonight is. Focus on that. I am valuable. I am valued. I am respected. People see my worth. Spirit is saying work on this. I swear, I think we talked about this in your last reading. Take a time out to look at, he reflects. The hermit reflects, right? And I think you've been doing that anyway. But the hangman in reverse, no, yes, he's in. No, he's not in reverse. I'm sorry. To get a new perspective. That I thought that. I'm just getting a little tired. About these betrayals and how that wound could have manifested all of these. And when you discover that and you connect those dots, because there's more than one, there's 10 there, you connect those dots and you put that work in, you start to be able to look further than your own bedroom, back door, neighborhood. You begin to get the bigger view. Yep. Because right now it's just, and then good, judgment's in the upright over here. That's when you can make a different choice, and that's when the sun comes out. I love it. Yeah. Confirmation. See, it's not just when I touch it, it's when I say something. I'm liking that. Yeah. So there's some wound here, your personal wound around self-love, about being worthy, whether that's chosen, whatever. You see it going off, it flickers when I say something. That tells me, I'm starting to believe that's telling me when I'm on target here. Healing this within yourself. Because remember, that it's just what I said earlier. Everything, you've heard me say this 100 times, maybe 1,000. Everything is a reflection of us. And so when you heal this, and you can smile into that mirror and truly, truly, genuinely feel the self-love, then the mirror changes, right? And that affects everything. we tend to separate as human beings. I'm saying this for other people that may not know. We tend to compartmentalize. Love is here, and relationship, and family relationship is here, and job is here, and money is over here, and and it's all connected. Everything is connected. If you're blocking yourself in one category, one container, you're blocking it in others. Or compartment is the word I was looking for. That's really good advice and helpful, because the thoughts have come in. Being alone and single has actually been really lovely, and I'm getting, oh, good. I know there is so much value in being single. I feel the same way right now. I really, really do. And I understand where you're coming from when you say that. I think we've harped on this before, and I say that word intentionally because it feels like I know you must be tired of me hearing same message. And so another way to say this is your strategy should be to believe in yourself again. You've got to believe that you can do it. Is that right, team? Is that right? Wow. All right, let me ask if there's anything else. Anything else for Michelle? Advice for Michelle. And that's when you get the 10 of Pentacles. Everything comes around. So it's telling me that's your number one wound that the world is reflecting to you. And that's through people, that's through relationships, like your family abandoning you. That's your job, the things that have happened to you there, and in any future. The number one wound. Yes, because as you said, rejection is protection. I believe that, yeah. But you need to, I'm just hearing more self-care to like put in time for meditation and visualization of feeling. I'm a big believer in what Abraham Hicks and Joe Dispenza talk about the feeling of the thing. Can you actually, confirmation, can you honestly tell me that it wouldn't be a struggle for you at this moment to come up with to genuinely be able to recall a feeling of when you felt valued, like being paid for your worth, or being like in your job, or some, I don't know, whatever experience it is, but I'm thinking job right now because I know that's where your focus is too. But when did you last have an experience in your life where you truly felt valued? You truly felt seen and valued and respected for you as an individual. Can you produce that feeling? And I can think of one place, which is when you were prophesying in your church, that comes to mind, but I don't know what else goes on in your life. But it feels to me like that's something you need to work on. Produce that feeling. Get in touch with that feeling again. Milk that feeling. Because what you focus on is going to grow. And if you can find that feeling and make it grow within you and start believing that should be, that you are worthy of that experience again, do that and keep doing that. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Then the mirror will start to show you that. I know, and that's what I'm feeling. Confirmation again. It would be a struggle to think of something. That's what's lacking. That to me is the message tonight for you. That's what's lacking. You have lost touch with that feeling. How can the universe show you that? Remember, it's just a mirror. So Michelle has to find that feeling again and has to believe in that feeling and has to believe that it can come and that she's worthy of receiving that feeling again. So that's the work. Excuse me. Katie, I saw that you asked for reading, and I saw that my sweet moderator said that they are closed for the evening. Hang on one second. Let me see. I've had some visions of me in the future wearing different clothes, and I've been trying to feel where I am. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Yes. Like picture yourself in your new environment. Yes. But feel it before you picture it. Feel the feeling. Oh, yeah, of course I would feel that way. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if you visualize it and then feel the feeling, but to feel it is what Joe Dispenza says is the magnet that brings it into the 3D. And you might even, you know what I'm hearing? I would go on YouTube and search because he's got some processes, meditative processes that he uses like in his workshops and so forth that might be helpful for you. And I purchased an audiobook, one of his audiobooks to listen to on my trip. So if I get any insights there, I'll pass that on to you too. Katie, I can answer a quick question, but I'm kind of tired and I don't like to do readings for people because I don't want to be giving you bad advice. Do you have a quick question? Let me see if I can help you a little bit. Just a quick one before I get off here. Katie, are you here? There she is. Okay, well, let me just explain what I was, rewind and play the reading I was just giving to Grace because the answer is the same. It's everything in life, whether it's your relationships or your money situation, jobs, everything is just a mirror of your belief about yourself, your self-worth. And our romantic relationships are the clearest mirror and the closest mirrors we have. So each relationship is going to reflect to you what wounds you need to work on. So you have to ask yourself, first of all, take responsibility. Now there's two people. So each person needs to take responsibility and accountability for 50%. So let's just get you on board with your 50%. Because I can pull cards for you and I can tell you what the potential future is, but tarot does not predict the future. And you have free will. And your free will, if you do some things correctly, could change the answer confirmation in the next 5 minutes. Law of attraction is something I recommend to here on my channel. And you can look up, I like Abraham Hicks is one of the best teachers. Joe Dispenza, I just mentioned, is another good one. And they talk about how to manifest, and they talk about what that's about. It's not just about saying affirmations and magically a car shows up in your driveway. No, it's deeper than that. It's uncovering your wounds and understanding the mirror. So to determine what one wound would be, for example, I don't know what's going on between you and your husband. I get a general overall sense that you don't feel valued by him. Can you confirm that, yes or no? You're welcome, Michelle. I hope it helps. And I love you to pieces. And I'm fingers crossed, wishing the best for you, of course. Katie, you're saying yes. Well, understand, Katie, no matter what he says or does, no matter what he doesn't do or say, that is just him being a puppet of the universe, reflecting back to you that in fact it's you that don't feel valued, you that doesn't see yourself as valuable. You don't feel seen and heard and valued because you don't believe you're worthy of being seen, heard, or valued. Or you had a difficult childhood where someone might have, let me slow down a minute. I'm losing my voice. Excuse me. That's another reason why I was going to get off. I hate to cough in y'all's ear. It's sometimes also caused by a childhood where it was dangerous for you to be seen and heard. If you grew up, for example, in an abusive household, you didn't want to be seen and heard, because if you were seen and heard, you got punished, you got beat, abused, whatever. I'm just using this as an example. And so you don't want, you say to yourself, oh no, it's not safe to be seen and heard, so I'm going to play little. That's going on in your subconscious. So it's one of those two things. Either way, for whatever reason, you don't feel it's safe, let's use that word, or you don't feel you're worthy of being seen and valued. I'm not valuable. I'm not lovable. Deep in your psyche, in your subconscious, that is what's going on. And then your husband is just showing up as a mirror to reflect that back to you. Or anybody else. I'm sure if you looked at your relationships and you looked back in life, you would see that thread through other relationships. Katie's saying, I definitely play little and overcompensate. Well, that's what's happening. And so it's not about going from playing little to being a lion. I want to be clear about that. But it is about going from playing little to feeling and understanding, I need to love me first. I have to change the mirror. I just did this earlier before you got here. I did this example of you're looking in the mirror like this, and you're expecting the mirror to show you something different. So you have to give the mirror the truth. You have to start loving yourself. You have to start showing that, living it, feeling it, honoring yourself. And part of that can be boundaries. I'm hearing for you, you need to work on your boundaries, Missy. Just saying. That's not a judgment. That's not a criticism. But if you don't have good, healthy boundaries and you let people take advantage of you, then you cannot turn around and blame them for it. Just saying. So, this is, I mean, I could go on a bit, but that's the nutshell. If you look at everything in life this way, you really could be on an island and heal yourself. But it's a lot more fun with relationships because they challenge us more. So instead of looking when you anything in life, when you have something difficult you're facing in life, instead of looking at, well, that person did that to me and that happened to me, and I have every right to be angry or bitter or this or that, or I'm a victim here. I'm not denying that those things happened. What I'm saying to you is you can't change it by having that, perpetuating that thought process. You can only change it by looking at why you are projecting that out into the world, because that's why the mirror is showing you that kind of response, can I say. So change yourself. Happiness is an inside job. You have to work on yourself. You have to practice good boundaries, some self-love, self-care, good open communication with your husband. You can have a conversation where you say to him, look, I realize that I want us to work on this, and I want to be a better person, and I want to share more. Have good open communication. If you need therapy, please go to therapy. If you need a therapist to help you put that into words. If you have trouble speaking your truth, because oftentimes people who are overcompensators they overcompensate through actions because they don't feel safe expressing themselves. And by the way, I am not a medical or psychological professional, but I have a lot of experience with it and teaching and working with other people as well as my own personal experience. We're getting a lot of action here tonight, aren't we? So, I mean, that really is the best advice I can give you, is work on yourself and understand that whatever happens, it's ultimately not about the other person. It's about you healing that wound within yourself. And when you do that, that person's going to show up differently in front of you, guaranteed. So you are very, very welcome. I'm glad I could squeeze that in for you tonight. I could feel that you needed that, and I'm glad I could squeeze it in. And I hope you'll come back and visit again. Okay, guys, I think that's it. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Adia. Thank you, Michelle, and everybody else who was here. And maybe I didn't speak to everybody. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you very much. I feel like I hope that's not been making a noise all night. And I don't know when I will see you, but I'm going to be doing some little road trip check-ins. We're going to do a little some field notes along the way, what's happening in the field, in my field, and maybe even literally in the field of dreams. We'll see on the way back. But I'll be checking in. Thank you, Adia. I appreciate that. And thank you for the compliment. Thank you. I hope it helped everybody tonight, whoever. And people that didn't get a reading, maybe they were listening too. So I hope it does help. Okay. Yes, good night, family. My team says good night too over here. All right, guys. Many, many blessings. Love to all of you. Y'all have a great week. See you soon.